Assalamu alaikum dear students and friends. Today we will discuss about the chemistry of alcohols. And these are the contents that we will cover. So in this lecture we will consider the structures and properties of alcohols, the synthesis of alcohols from alkenes and the reactivity of alcohols. So let us start our lecture with the chemical structures of alcohols. Alcohols have hydroxyl group attached to the saturated carbon atom. So there we have three different types of alcohols. The first one is the primary alcohol, the second one is the secondary alcohol, and the third one is the tertiary alcohol. So how do we differentiate these to be primary, secondary, and tertiary? To know this, first we have to consider what alpha carbon is. And the carbon that is directly connected to the functional group is called the alpha carbon. So in this case, the alpha carbon is this one in this particular case. So this alpha carbon is further connected to one carbon, so that is why it's primary in nature, hence the alcohol is primary. The same is the case for the second molecule. This alpha carbon is connected to two carbons, so it is secondary in nature, so the alcohol is also secondary in nature. And for the third alcohol, this alpha carbon is connected to three different carbons, so it's tertiary in nature, hence the alcohol is also tertiary in nature. These are some alcohols important from organic synthesis point of view. This is called the allyl alcohol, this one is propargyl alcohol, and the third one is the benzyl alcohols. Phenols, compounds that have hydroxyl group attached directly to a benzene ring, are called phenols. So the first structure is the parent phenol, and the other two are the derivative of phenol. We have methyl and chloro groups installed at C4 and C3 positions respectively of the phenols. So let's discuss about the physical properties of alcohols. Alcohols have much higher boiling point than comparable ethers or hydrocarbons. So this is the comparison. If we consider this 5 carbon hydrocarbon that's called pentane, it has the boiling point of 36 degrees Celsius. However, when we have one methyl group replaced with the hydroxy, that's one butanol, the boiling point reached to 117.7 degrees Celsius. So this is the massive increase in the boiling point. The reason for this massive increase in the boiling point is the hydrogen bonding that occurs in this alcohol molecule. Whereas the ethers and hydrocarbons, they do not undergo the hydrogen bonding with themselves. That's called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. We will discuss ether about in our next lecture when we will discuss about the chemistry of ethers. So let's start learning the synthesis of alcohols from alkenes. Well, there are three ways to get the alcohol from the alkene. One is called the acid catalyzed hydration, the other is called the oxymercuration and demercuration, and the third one is called the hydroboration and followed by the oxidation. In the acid catalyzed hydration of alkenes, as the name suggests, the acid is used as a catalyst and water is the source for the hydroxy and hydrogen addition across the carbon-carbon double bond. This reaction goes through the Markovnikov-Regge selectivity. It follows this Markovnikov-Regge selectivity. The free carbocation intermediate is formed during the formation of the product, and the possibility of a rearrangement of carbocation is also there. Let us discuss about the mechanism. Obviously, the reaction starts with the nucleophilic attack of the alkene to the acidic proton. That is a simple acid-base reaction, and we have hydrogen added to one of the carbons. Which carbon should add the hydrogen? Either this carbon or this carbon. And we know very well, if this carbon, the terminal carbon, attaches the hydrogen, we will have the carbocation here. And if we have the carbon, this carbon attaches the hydrogen to itself, we will have the carbocation here. So there is a competition of tertiary and the secondary tertiary and the primary carbocation. So obviously tertiary carbocation is much more stabler than the primary carbocation. So that is why the protonation occurs at the terminal carbon, and we have a tertiary carbocation. And this tertiary carbocation will be immediately captured by the water molecule in the nucleophilic attack of water, and we will have this alcohol. In fact, this is one step shorter, and this protonated alcohol will be deprotonated to afford the desired the desired product and the alcohol. In the second way to make the alcohol from the alkene, we have the oxymercuration and demercuration. The name suggests a lot of story. With the oxymercuration, it means the addition of oxygen and addition of mercury across the carbon-carbon double bond. And later in the second step, we have the removal of mercury. Demercuration means the removal of mercury to afford the alcohol at the end. So the first step takes the use of the mercuric acetate in the presence of water, and then the sodium borohydride is used to displace the mercury. This reaction also goes through the Markovnikov regioselectivity, and the stereoselectivity is anti, and generally does not involve the rearrangement. The reaction goes as the carbon-carbon double bond is present. What about the mechanism? The first step is the mercuration of the carbon-carbon double bond. The pi bond of the carbon-carbon double bond will attack the mercury, which will displace the acetate in the same step. It's an SN2 reaction. We have the mercurinium ion, a three-membered ring, which will be immediately cleaved by the water molecule that is present in the system. This water will break the carbon-mercury bond, and we have the carbon Hg bond and carbon oxygen bond in this intermediate. Then this protonated alcohol hydroxy will be deprotonated with the help of the water, and we will have this compound. So this is the first step, which is called oxymercuration, and then the sodium borohydride will come into action, and its hydride will attack the carbon of the CHG bond, and the mercury will leave the system, and overall there will be an alcohol formation from the alkenes. Well, the third way to make the alcohol from the alkene is in the hydroboration oxidation. Again, the name suggests a lot of story. With the hydroboration, it means addition of boron and hydrogen across the carbon-carbon double bond, and later in the second step we have the oxidation, that is the removal of the boron with the help of some oxygen source that will obviously come from this hydrogen peroxide catalyzed by this sodium hydroxide base, and at the end we will be having this alcohol. This reaction again, and this section will go through the anti-Markovnikov regioselectivity. With the anti-Markovnikov regioselectivity, it means the hydroxy will attach to the carbon that has higher number of hydrogens. The stereoselectivity will be syn in this case. Syn means delivery of the substituent from the same phase. In this particular case, the delivery of the hydroxy and hydrogen, the green and the red one, they will come from the same phase. So let us start the mechanism. The first step is the hydroboration. Basically, it's a concerted reaction. In the first step, the carbon-carbon double bond will attack the boron, but at the same time, this hydrogen of the boron will attack the carbon of the carbon-carbon double bond. We have a four-member transition state that will result in this alkyl borane. And remember, this alkyl borane will be attacked by another molecule of alkene, overall forming the dialkyl borane. Again, the third molecule of alkene will come and attack this dialkyl borane to afford the trialkyl borane. One thing you must have noticed in this particular series of reaction is that the boron always ends up on the least hindered carbon. For example, for this particular molecule, this is hindered carbon and this is least hindered carbon. So the boron must have attached to this carbon and not to this carbon because of the steric hindrance. Now, this trialkyl borane will be oxidized with the help of sodium hydroxide, with the help of hydrogen peroxide and sodium hydroxide. So first of all, the sodium hydroxide will deprotonate the hydrogen peroxide, forming the hydroperoxide anion, which is not shown here. And once the hydroperoxide anion is formed, it will attack this boron compound. And remember, we have just shortened the previous molecule. You could see that this trialkyl borane, we have replace this long alkyl chain with the R group just for the simplicity purpose. So this hydroxide per anion will attack the boron because boron is electron deficient, and we will be having a complex of oxygen boron, and then there will be a 1,2 alkyl shift, and this alkyl group, one of the alkyl groups will migrate from the boron to the oxygen, the neighboring oxygen, and this hydroxide will leave the system, and we will have this species. And then again, the second mole of hydroperoxide anion will attack the boron, and the same strategy will they will be boron anion, and again there will be migration, and the one of the two alkyl groups left will migrate from boron to the oxygen. So overall, now we have two alkoxy attached to the boron. The same process will again happen. The hydroperoxide will attack the electron deficient boron. We will be having this intermediate, and there will be again rearrangement of alkyl group. So we will have this species left. And in the third step, there will be hydrolysis followed by the sodium using sodium hydroxide. This bond will break. This boron and oxygen bond will break, and we will be having overall 3 moles of alcohols. Well, if we consider these two reactions, in the above reaction, we have a Markovnikov regioselectivity. With the Markovnikov, it means the delivery of the hydroxy has come from has come to the carbon that has a lesser number of hydrogens. However, in case of the below reaction, the reverse is the case. That is, the hydroxy has attached to that carbon which has already the higher number of hydrogens, which is called the anti-Markovnikov regioselectivities. See the sets of reagents for these two different regioselectivities. The Markovnikov regioselectivity underwent with the help of mercuric acetate and followed by the sodium borohydride, while the anti-Markovnikov regioselectivity occurred because of the hydroboration oxidation reaction. Now come to the reactions of alcohols. The reactions of alcohols have mainly to do with the following. And these three are the points. The oxygen atom of the hydroxy group is nucleophilic and weakly basic. So obviously they will attack to the electrophilic carbon or any electrophilic source. And the hydrogen atom of hydroxy is weakly acidic. So a stronger base may deprotonate that alcohol, making the alkoxide anion. And the third point is the hydroxy group may be converted to a leaving group so as to allow a substitution reaction or elimination reaction. And this is very important series of reaction that we will discuss in the coming slides. So here is the reactivity shown of the alcohol. You know, the alcohol's oxygen is electronegative, hence it has the partial negative charge, and the adjacent atoms, the carbon and the hydrogen, are the partial positive, having the partial positive charge. So this hydroxide is a poor leaving group, but once protonated, this will become a good leaving group. So whenever there is an acid in the reaction of alcohol, the first step must be the attack of the alcoholic oxygen to the acidic proton, making it protonated alcohol. Now this OH has become a good leaving group. Initially it was a poor leaving group. Now it has become a good leaving group. And once it has become the good leaving group, a nucleophile may displace this group as a water, and we will have a simple SN2 reaction, that is bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. This reaction will not occur if we do not have the protonated alcohol. Remember, so the protonated OH is a good leaving group. Now let's discuss about the conversion of alcohols into the alkyl halides. If we treat the alcohol with the halogen acids such as HCl, HBr, or HI, and also if we treat with the PbR3 or SoCl2, the thionyl chloride, we will have the OH replaced with that halogen. So let us discuss some examples. This is tertiary butyl alcohol, a tertiary alcohol. When reacted with the concentrated HCl, we have a replacement of OH with the chlorine. In the reaction is will give a very good yield, 94%. In the second reaction, once this cyclohexyl methyl hydroxy group alcohol is treated with the PbR3, we have this replacement of OH with the Br. So alkyl halides from reaction of alcohol with the hydrogen halides, as discussed. Basically, it depends upon the reactivity of the alcohols. If the alcohol are tertiary in nature, the reaction will proceed in a very efficient manner. And if it is primary alcohol, the reaction is not as good as it is with the secondary or the tertiary. However, the reactivity of halogen acid also matters. You know, Hi is stronger than HBr, which is in turn stronger than HCl. So Hi is preferred for the better reaction. And you know, this is not a possible reaction because of the same reason that we just discussed. The hydroxide, being the poor leaving group, cannot be displaced. However, if we have the acid in the system, this hydroxy will be protonated to become a good leaving group, and then our nucleophile may displace this hydroxy as a water, and it will attach to the carbon, the alpha carbon of the alcohol. So this is the mechanism of the reactions of alcohol with halogen acid. As discussed, the secondary, tertiary, allylic, benzylic alcohol appear to react by the mechanism that involves the formation of carbocation, because they will generate a better carbocation. Let us discuss in the step one. If this is the tertiary butyl alcohol, as I mentioned, once protonated, the OH may remove as a protonated. We have the tertiary carbocation, which is obviously most stable carbocation in comparison with the primary and secondary. The step three, the halogen will attack this carbocation, and we have the halogen attached, and this is called alkyl halide. Remember, there once the carbocation is formed, so the nucleophilic strength does not matter. Even a very feeble, very weak nucleophile may also adhere to this carbocation. However, if we have a primary alcohol, so this will not go through the SN1 reaction, that is the departure of the hydroxy prior to the attack of the nucleophile. Rather, the reaction will proceed in a simultaneous manner. The nucleophile will attack to the alpha carbon, and at the same time, the protonated hydroxy will leave the system. This is because we cannot, this molecule cannot afford the generation of the carbocation, which will be primary in nature or secondary in nature. Now let's discuss about the preparation of alkyl halide from the alcohol using PbR3 or thionyl chloride. So this is the reaction with the phosphorus tribromide. Again, this reaction is efficient with the primary and the secondary alcohol. And let us jump to the mechanism. First of all, the lone pair of the oxygen of alcohol will attack the phosphorus in an SN2 fashion. The bromine will be displaced, and we will have this protonated alkyl dibromophosphite. And now this bromide that has just been released from this PbR3 will not sit at peace. Rather, it will attack this carbon, this alpha carbon, to have this alkyl halide. And remember, this bromide could not have attacked to this carbon and displace the hydroxide, because hydroxide is a poor leaving group. However, now this hydroxide has become a good leaving group when attached to the phosphorus. This is the reaction with the thionyl chloride. Thionyl chloride converts the primary and secondary alcohol to the alkyl chloride. Pyridine is often used. This will be shown in the mechanism. the pyridine will attack the thionyl chloride sulfur and the chlorine will displace. And this is again the SN2 reaction. We have this pyridinium complex, which will be immediately captured by the alcohol. And this time the alcoholic oxygen will attack the sulfur and the pyridinium will leave the system as a pyridine molecule. And then this recently left pyridine will deprotonate this compound and we have this intermediate, and then the chloride will attack the alkyl group and we have the formation of the sulfur dioxide gas and the chloride, which will obviously become the HCl later on. So this reaction has the advantage of the favoring of the entropy, because this reaction uh, goes through the generation of two entropically favored cases, that is the generation of the sulfur dioxide gas and the HCl gas. So this is a very good reaction. If you need to convert the alcohol to the alkyl chloride, always go with the thionyl chloride, and this is a very neat reaction you will be having. Well, alcohols hydroxy may not only be converted into the halogen to make it a good leaving group or protonated to make it a good leaving group. We have two more options to make the hydroxy of the alcohol to be a good leaving group. One is called the tosylation process, the other is called the methylation process. So what is a tosylate? Basically, tosylate is the conjugate base of the tosic acid. And the tosic acid is paramethyl benzene sulfonic acid. When you remove the hydrogen, it becomes the tosylate anion. Same is the case for the methylate. The difference between the tosylate and the methylate is of this region. So direct displacement of hydroxy group with a nucleophile via SN2 reaction is not possible. We have already discussed this. We have discussed this. Here, we first of all we have to convert the alcohol into the methylate to make it the alcoholic hydroxy a good leaving group. The reaction proceeds in a manner that this OH will attack the sulfur and the chlorine will leave the system. This will become a methylate. Basically, it's a methyl sulfonate. Same is the case for the tosylate. You know the difference between the methylate and tosylate is only at this site. So we have the OTS group in replacement of the OH group. And once the methylation or tosylation have occurred, have undergone, a nucleophile will displace that methylate or tosylate when attacked to the alpha carbon. And it's a simple SN2 reaction. These are some examples. This is butyl alcohol, 2-butanol. And once tosylated, we have the OH group replaced with the OTS. Here, one thing you are also observing about the stereochemistry. This hydroxy is above the plane. This tosylate group is also above the plane. It means there is no inversion or racemization. It's a simple retention. That is, the stereochemistry is preserved because the oxygen attacked the chlorine of the tosyl group, and we have simple SN2 reaction. We have OTS installed in place of OH. However, when the cyanide attacks to this carbon, the carbon directly attached to the OTS, we have again an SN2 reaction, but this time this SN2 is at this carbon, so we have the inversion of the configuration. So cyanide has also added to this carbon, but the stereochemistry has also inverted. So now it has become the behind, it has come to the below the plane. The thing that I was discussing, it's written. More examples again, the preservation of the stereochemistry of the alcohol when methylated. However, when the nucleophile attacks, the methylate group is displaced by a nucleophile with the inversion of the configuration. Here, this SME is the nucleophile. It's called methyl thiolate anion. It is a very good nucleophile because sulfur being lower period member is a very good nucleophile. And the solvent is DMSO, highly favorable for the SN2 type reactions. So we have this compound, this group attached at this equatorial position. So in summary of synthesis and reactions of alcohols, For the primary alcohol, if you consider this is a primary alkyl halide. When reacted with the hydroxide, a simple displacement SN2 type reaction will give you the primary alcohol. We may also get the primary alcohol if we treat this terminal alkene with the borane and later with the hydrogen peroxide. This will give you the anti-Markovnikov hydration product, and we will be having the hydroxy at the end of the carbon. One more way to have the primary alcohol is the epoxide ring opening. This we have not learned in this series in this lecture, but we will learn this in the when we will discuss about the chemistry of ethers. So this epoxide will be opened by this organomagnesium compound to afford the primary alcohol. For the secondary alcohol, we have this internal alkene being protonated, and this may be protonated with the even acid. It makes no matter, because there is no in this particular starting material there is no matter of the rearrangement reaction. However, it's shown with the borane, and the second sort of reaction is shown with the oxymercuration. It's an oxymercuration reaction, and the third one is the acid catalyzed hydration reaction. For the tertiary alcohol, this tertiary alkyl halide, when treated with the acid, will give you the tertiary alcohol in a very high yield. We also get this tertiary alcohol when this terminal alkene is treated with the mercuric acetate followed by the sodium borohydride. This is a Markovnikov hydration reaction with no rearrangement. And this is again a very simple reaction, an acid catalyzed hydration. And this time again the hydroxy will attach to the carbon that is having the least or no hydrogen atoms. So that's all. No, that's reaction. We have also the reactions of alcohols. In the reaction of alcohol, the primary alcohol, when treated with the base, we will have the alkoxide anion, and this alkoxide anion may react with the halogen to replace the they will react with the carbon to replace with the to have the SN2 reaction. In the second type of reaction, we may have a simple dehydration reaction. The acid will protonate the hydroxy, and we will have this beta hydrogen removed to afford this alkene. One more reaction for the alcohol is the tosylation of the alcohol that we just discussed, and the chlorination of the alcohol with the help of the SOCl2 or PBr3. Thank you.